This video is basically about me wanting to rebuild my pedal board. I've got no gigs right now. I use my pedal board right now only in the studio. Since the middle of March, I haven't had any live shows, and I probably won't have any live shows until the middle of next March, just the way the venues are shut down around here and the way scheduling works. So I'm kind of in this weird notch in my time where it actually makes sense to tear all of my live rig apart and redo it. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go through this kind of quickly, show you all my sounds, talk about what I want to do and want to change. And in the comments below, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. And maybe in about 4 to 6 weeks, I'll probably have this kind of redone, and then we'll do another video. We'll revisit it. And at that point, I'll mic my amp and kind of do something a little bit nicer. But for right now, all these sounds today are going to be through the Strymon Iridium on my normal setting that you hear in all the videos directly into my recording interface. So let's do kind of a quick run through of what I have here currently. It's filthy because it's been sitting under my desk this whole time. We have the guitar coming in here, Sonic Research Turbo Tuner. From there, it goes out into the ES8. One of the things I'm thinking about is that the ES8 has a tuner out, so I can actually mute the ES8 and use the tuner there as opposed to hitting the button, which can pop and be kind of loud on stage. I've got kind of a patch bay where I can plug in on the side that I'm not using right now. So that might be something that I'm going to change. From the ES8, I've got pedals in the following loops. So the first loop is the first spark boost. I'll explain why that's there in a second. The second loop is the Emerson Em Drive. The third loop is the Dude pedal by Rockett. The fourth loop is the Revival Drive, that guy right there. In loop 5, I've got the MXR Phase 90. It's like one of the hard hand-wired ones. I like it a lot. Loop 6 is the Strymon Mobius. Loop 7, there's nothing there. There's actually just some dead cables sitting out right there. I took something off and haven't put it back in. And then loop 8 is the Eventide H9. From the ES8, it goes out to the other spark boost, which is like my solo boost if I need a sound louder. And then from there it goes into the timeline, which is where all my delays come from. And then from the timeline, right now I'm doing this really hokey thing, and this is one of the things I need to fix, where I'm actually taking one side and going out to the Strymon Iridium for my direct sound, and that's what the direct box is for. And then the other side actually goes to the patch bay, and that line goes out to the amp. From there, it's all mono, so it doesn't really matter. But there's got to be a better way of doing that. And some of my patches are kind of screwed up where I'm not getting sound out to the amp when I'm getting the Iridium and vice versa. And it's a mess. So I'm kind of thinking, because I'm using the H9 a little bit more for delays, that might actually occupy a space outside. And I turn this guy off and on by MIDI right now anyway. So the effects that are all MIDI, I can actually turn off and on through MIDI. They don't necessarily have to be in loops. I like having the Mobius because that's a lot of my chorus and phaser and Leslie and Rotary and stuff like that. So that guy's going to stay in a loop. But the other two, the H9, that could go after the ES8 just like the timeline is. It doesn't really matter what order those two guys are in at the moment, other than the fact that the H9 is most of my reverbs. Actually, all my reverbs at this point. One of the other things I'm thinking about getting is JHS makes a splitter, so I can put a splitter at the end of this. I can come out of the timeline and then just have this buffered split that goes one side to the Iridium, one side to the amp, and actually kind of solve some of my problems there. Maybe have something buffered on the front side of this. I'm not entirely certain. One thing I'm also considering is, because I don't like this pedal train board and the way it forces me to put things on it, I'm thinking about basically attaching a flat piece of maybe plywood or something like that, something really thin, and then I'm able to actually maybe drill my wire access out of there and be able to put the pedals wherever I want to, which would make it a little bit easier to put things on here, be a little bit cleaner, and I could fit more stuff on here if I wanted to. Other things, this guy right here, this is the, you guys can kind of see, this is my tap tempo box for the timeline. Let me go through the sounds a little bit here. All right, so the first patch is just my clean sound. Literally nothing but reverb from the H9. The second sound is the Emerson Em Drive. Right, it's literally just there to give me a little bit of fatness and booze on the cleaner sound. With my Les Paul driving it, which this is not, through the amp, if the amp is cranked up, that actually pushes it kind of in AC/DC territory, believe it or not. It's kind of a nice extra push. This guy right here is the Revival Drive. Right now I've got one side of the Revival Drive set up kind of as a low gain, kind of a Marshall sound. Here's the neck pickup. And then the other side is kind of more my high gain stuff. So right now on this bank, the fifth sound is just the Rotary or the Leslie sound I get out of the Strymon Mobius. Next is my this is my lead sound. It's kind of on the end, so it's easier for me to remember where to hit when I'm singing. Right. It also kind of gives me kind of a cool 80s rhythm sound sometimes, actually, if I've got it dialed in just right. Number 7 on here is the phaser. I love this phaser a lot. I like it more so than any of the other phasers I have available to me. It just has a little bit of a low output issue. It's one of the reasons why there's this extra spark in here. Let me turn this down just a little bit. It just kind of helps with things get kind of loud. I'm about thinking I'm going to get rid of that spark and maybe put something a little bit more Klon-like in there. And then this is my chorus sound. I do a lot of cover gigs where there's a lot of 80s kind of. Alright, so that's kind of that. Other sounds that I have in here. I always like the H9 has this analog synth sound. At the moment, I need to tweak it. It's a little bit messed up. A lot of these sounds I've been messing with during lessons and not fixing. So when I actually get back to playing gigs, I'm gonna have some issues. I got a flanger out of the Strymon Mobius. Tremolo, that's also out of the Mobius. And then, you know, like delay sounds, like as far as adding sounds, I think I want a Klon kind of thing, so I'm probably going to get a J Rockett Archer of some kind. I'm taking suggestions for other Klon kind of things. I may end up losing the second spark, I don't know. I probably just won't need it after this. It would be nice to have kind of a cool fuzz, but not super necessary. Other than that, you know, the thing is I don't need a whole lot of stuff. I just need to make this cleaner and work better. And, you know, and just have it be reliable. That's what it comes down to, is just having everything where I need it when I need it.